Welcome. I'm so glad that you are here because I have a whole lot to share with you. My name is Alix Rager and my company is called Sweet Spot Power. And I want to help you to tap into that place inside of you that is absolutely aligned with who you're meant to be in the world, what you're meant to do in the world, and learning how to do this in a way that's much more effortless, much more feminine, much more aligned, and where you're able to attract what it is that you need, the resources, the people who you need to collaborate with, so that you can make that difference without losing the relationships in your life that are so important, or without losing that self-care and that health that is obviously so important for you, and the time to spend with your family and do the things that are most meaningful for you. So I want to help you to find that sweet spot. And in this series that I'm offering here, it's a three-part series that is really the foundation, the cornerstone of everything that I teach. And it's called the Passion Path Process. What this is it's a way to really align and find out what your compass is, your unique purpose, your unique mission in the world. But the key about this is it's always expanding and growing and changing with you, with the experiences you have, with your growth. And it's something you need to actually tap into and realign to on a regular basis. Now, for me, I learned this about 7 years ago, I think, was the first time I went through a similar process to really find out who I was. I knew I was being called to be more in the world, to do more, to have more, and I didn't really know how to find what that was. And there's a lot of people out there teaching how to create a vision and then create your plan and just go for it, this really masculine way of just driving forward and finding this path. And it didn't feel right to me because I kept finding myself weaving into different areas. And so I found this process and was able to work with it and refine it a number of times where I was able to finally figure out who I was. There are times in our lives when we find that we are really much further away from where we thought we were going to be than where we're finding ourselves. And it can affect us in very small ways over a long period of time. And when that happens and you start to feel this calling and this itching, this piece of us that's unsettled inside, we're not doing what we're meant to do, things just aren't happening with the effortlessness that it's supposed to. We're not as happy. That's what this process is for. This is to help you get realigned again, to get clear again, to get on fire again, and to tap that deep motivation that's going to just help you to become really unstoppable and clear in the world. And what happens then is everything comes to you. The people, the situations, the opportunities, the inspirations, and even that energy, that endless source of energy starts to come from within you to make the difference you were meant to make without missing out. So I realize that you may or may not really know why you should be on this call or in this series, and I want to give you just a few exercises that might help you to really see if this is for you, because I want to pour into you and I really want you to get this experience. It's really a transformation, and transformation takes a commitment, and commitment takes a reason to make that commitment. So I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions. If you were to look at your life in terms of your love life, your relationships and friendships, your business or the work that you do in the world, and your health, these are the big areas that we play whack-a-mole with the symptoms of this and that, and we focus on one thing and then something else crops up and we get reactive all over the place. So I want you to look at these different areas and ask yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy am I? How fulfilled am I? Do I love this part? Is this really working for me? Are there some pieces about this area that I would really like to see change? Ask yourself those honest questions. And then I also want you to consider the work you do in the world, especially that, because that's that deep calling, that nudge you feel that becomes just over and over like this draw that you may not be clear on yet what that is, or you might have an idea but you're not sure and you're afraid. So you've heard the question, what would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail? If you honestly can say that you have an answer to that you have a what you would do if you didn't fail, I want you to ask yourself to really sit down and say, what would that failure actually be? I mean, what is that failure for you? And how could you get yourself out of that? Like, how would you recover from that if you actually did fail in going for it? Because you'd be surprised, it's not nearly as bad as our minds make it. The other part to that is, what would you do if you did, what would happen in your life if you did nothing at all? And that is, it seems kind of obvious, well, nothing would happen, but think longer term if you didn't do anything and how that would affect your life. And then, what about success? Because I have found that with a lot of the women that I work with, I tend to attract entrepreneurial women that either have started a business or who are thinking about starting a business. And one of the biggest things that keeps them from taking a step forward, taking that first step, is fear of success. What would happen if you actually were successful? Be with that piece, and I want you to think about all of these areas and these different questions, and I want to offer you to come and join me for this 3-part series to uncover your passion path. I promise you, it will be an amazing journey, and you will leave with literally a statement by which you can guide your entire life. Now, it may only be for 6 months or a year, but you will know how to do it again and again and keep yourself on course so that you'll never find yourself far from where you thought you were going to be down the road. So I hope you'll join us. I absolutely bless you today, and do take some time to think about these questions, and I hope to see you when we start.